Everything you've been taught about women is a lie. If you've ever wondered why she ghosted you, lost interest, or stopped respecting you, even after you did everything right, then you're exactly where you need to be. What I'm about to reveal will wake you up. This isn't theory. This is raw, uncomfortable truth rooted in psychology, biology, and survival instincts. Comment, the truth. If you're ready to unlock the reality behind attraction and watch this video until the end, this will change your dating life permanently. Too many men live their lives chasing, bending over backward, and losing themselves just to keep a woman interested, only to find that none of it works. They try to be the nice guy, the provider, or the man who's always there when she needs him, and yet she leaves them for the man who seems to care less. It's painful to see everything you've invested thrown away like it meant nothing. But I'm here to tell you, it wasn't your effort that was wrong. It was your understanding of female psychology. Society has lied to you about what women want, and you've paid the price. This video is for men who are ready to wake up. If you're not ready for brutal honesty, feel free to leave. For those who are staying, know this. By the end of this video, you'll never look at dating and relationships the same way ever again. Number 1. They need to feel protected. A woman's independence doesn't erase millions of years of biology. Modern society praises independence, but her subconscious still demands protection, not just physical protection, but emotional, financial, and psychological stability. Men often misunderstand what protection means in today's world. It's not about standing outside her door with a bat. It's about creating a life where she feels safe in your presence, where she can be vulnerable without fearing you'll crumble under her emotions. Women's emotional storms are not a test of your ability to comfort her. They're a test of your ability to remain steady. If you fail that test, you don't lose her respect gradually, you lose it instantly. When she cries, do you panic or become her calm? When she shares her doubts, do you brush them off, or do you make her feel that her world won't collapse under your watch? Many men think listening and sharing her pain is the solution. But what she truly needs is your emotional armor, not emotional reflection. When she says, I feel like the world is falling apart, your job isn't to say, I know, I feel it too. Your job is to say, I've got you. A man who can provide stability is magnetic, because it's a rarity in today's world of emotionally fragile men. Men think they lose a woman when they're not good enough, but the reality is, they lose her when they're not dependable enough. She's not expecting you to solve all her problems, but she expects you to be the rock she can't move. A woman needs the feeling that no matter what storm she's going through, her man isn't affected by it. That's the man she doesn't leave. When other men fold under her tests, you stand tall, unshaken. That's when she feels safe. And when she feels safe, she gives her vulnerability and respect. She won't test you consciously, but her instincts will make her do it. She will push, she will prod, and if you don't break, she will love you for it. Why do women leave men who are too nice? It's because nice doesn't equal safe. Nice is accommodating, passive, and agreeable, but it doesn't provide leadership. A nice man will listen to her problems, but won't have the strength to take the lead when life demands it. Women don't leave nice men because they're kind. They leave because kindness without strength feels hollow. A man can be nice and still have a backbone. She needs to know you won't change your principles just to make her happy temporarily. Women may love sweet gestures, but they respect boundaries. A man who can say no with confidence is far more attractive than a man who says yes to everything, even when it costs him his dignity. If she's venting about her job or her insecurities, listen, but don't lose your composure. Don't become her emotional sponge. Absorb the information, But let her know she's with a man who doesn't get dragged down by negativity. That's why men who embody Stoicism are so attractive. A woman's mind constantly seeks reassurance, and her attraction grows when she knows her man won't lose himself just because she's emotional. When you see her panic, you don't panic. When she's upset, you don't get defensive. You stay firm, calm, and collected. That's power, and that power makes her feel protected in a way that flowers and compliments never will. Weak men make the mistake of thinking they're supposed to fix her every time she's emotional. The truth is, she doesn't always need a solution. She needs to feel your calm presence. She needs to know that even if she falls apart, you won't. It's not about solving her problems, it's about being the man who can remain steady while she processes her emotions. When you can master this, she'll crave your presence because being with you feels like peace. She'll respect you because you don't let her emotions dictate your actions, and she'll trust you because she knows you won't abandon her when she's vulnerable. Men today have been told to express their feelings without limits, to cry openly, to show vulnerability at all times. But there's a difference between being vulnerable and being weak. Vulnerability is sharing your truth when it's necessary. Weakness is being emotionally unstable. When she senses weakness, she can't help but lose attraction. It's not a conscious decision. It's survival instincts kicking in. Women need protection because biologically, their survival depended on finding a man who could lead through chaos, not become part of it. If you can't handle your emotions, how can she trust you to handle hers? Stop being the man who tries to earn her approval by bending to her emotional whims. Start being the man who protects her by being the anchor she can't move. Protect her emotions by being in control of your own. Number 2, confidence disarms them. Women are attracted to power. Not the power to dominate others, but the power to control yourself. Confidence is the silent magnetic force that makes a woman notice you without you saying a word. It's how you walk into a room, how you carry yourself, how you handle setbacks without showing weakness. Confidence is rare because most men are ruled by insecurity. They overthink their texts, over-apologize when they haven't done anything wrong, and constantly seek approval to feel worthy. Women can sense insecurity before you even open your mouth. It's in the way you hesitate, the way you over-explain yourself, or the way you fidget under pressure. Confidence is the absence of that doubt. Confidence is about certainty, not arrogance. Arrogant men seek attention, but confident men attract attention naturally. Women know when a man is trying too hard. They see it in the way he talks himself up, drops hints about his achievements, or fishes for compliments. But the man who doesn't need validation, he's irresistible. Confidence is walking into a conversation knowing you don't have to prove anything because your value speaks for itself. Women find men who know their worth incredibly attractive. When you know you're enough, you don't overcompensate, and that's what makes you stand out. A man who's confident doesn't crumble when she tests him. Women test men not because they want to destroy them, but because they want to see if the man can handle the pressure. She might challenge your opinions, delay her responses to your texts, or bring up other men just to see how you react. If you get defensive or needy, you've failed the test. But if you remain unshaken, you've proven that you're the kind of man who doesn't bend under pressure. That's what disarms her. That's what earns her respect. Too many men think confidence comes from external achievements, money, looks, status. But the truth is, confidence comes from internal mastery. When you've conquered yourself, external factors become irrelevant. Women aren't attracted to the car you drive. They're attracted to the man who knows he doesn't need the car to impress anyone. When you're confident, you're not seeking her approval. You're giving her the opportunity to earn your attention. Think about this. Women chase men who don't need them. That's the paradox of attraction. The more you show her that you're fine with or without her, the more she wants you. Confidence is being able to walk away from a woman without begging for her to stay. When she senses that you won't compromise your dignity just to keep her, her attraction skyrockets. Weak men beg, but confident men attract. Confidence isn't built overnight, but it's built through discipline. Set goals and achieve them. Every small win, whether it's in the gym, at work, or in your personal life, reinforces your self-worth. The man who knows he can overcome challenges becomes unshakable. And when a woman sees a man who's unshakable, she becomes drawn to him. Why? Because confidence signals that you can handle life, and if you can handle life, you can handle her. That's the man she respects. That's the man she chases. Number 3, ambition ignites attraction. Ambition is not a luxury. It's not a nice-to-have quality. For women, ambition is non-negotiable. If you're a man without ambition, you're invisible to her instincts. Modern society might tell you that women don't care about a man's drive, or that love will happen regardless of what you achieve, but her biology doesn't work that way. Deep down, she is wired to select a man who's going somewhere in life, someone who's pushing forward and isn't content with mediocrity. Stagnation is the biggest attraction killer, and many men don't realize it until they're watching her walk away. Ambition isn't just about chasing money or career success. It's about your hunger for improvement in all areas of life. Are you working on your body, or have you let yourself go? Are you learning new skills, or are you wasting hours scrolling through your phone? Are you taking risks to level up your life, or are you playing it safe and settling for less than you deserve? She notices these things, even if she never says it. Ambition sends a powerful signal to her subconscious. This man will create a better life. Think about it. Women leave men not because they're bad people, but because they're stuck. She could love you, but if she sees you stagnating, her survival instincts will kick in and she'll start to distance herself. A woman's attraction to ambition is deeply tied to her need for security. If you're constantly growing, she feels like you're building a future she can be part of. But if you're stagnant, she'll begin to question if she's betting on a sinking ship. It's not personal, it's biological. A woman will stay loyal to a man she believes is evolving, but she will emotionally detach from a man who has given up on himself. When you hear about women leaving good men for higher value men, it's not always about money or looks. It's about progression. A man who's hungry for more and consistently leveling up makes her feel secure because she knows that he won't let life defeat him. On the flip side, a man who's complacent signals danger to her subconscious. She's not thinking, oh, he's lazy. She's feeling, this man isn't going to protect me and our potential family long term. Men who misunderstand this think women are shallow, but there's nothing shallow about survival instincts. A woman's attraction to ambition is as primal as a man's attraction to beauty. Just like you can't help but be drawn to a woman who's feminine and radiant, she can't help but be drawn to a man who's striving. It's in her DNA. The biggest mistake men make is thinking that ambition means hitting some massive milestone before they're worthy of her attention. They think they need to be millionaires or CEOs. But ambition isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. If she sees you actively chasing your goals, constantly evolving and never settling, she'll feel that magnetic pull toward you. Even small signs of ambition, like waking up earlier to work out, studying a new skill, or working overtime to improve your financial situation, trigger her respect. Ambition makes her respect you. Women don't just fall in love with men, they fall in love with their potential. The man who can paint a vision of a better future and prove that he's capable of building it will always stand out. Ambition shows her that you're not just thinking about today, You're creating a future where she'll be safe and taken care of. This doesn't mean you're responsible for her life, but it means she trusts that being with you is a long-term investment. On the flip side, a lack of ambition kills attraction faster than anything. It's why you hear stories of women leaving men they've been with for years. She might not be able to articulate it, but the moment she senses that you're content with mediocrity, her instincts will push her away. It's not because she's ungrateful, it's because she's wired to find the best mate for survival. Women evolved in environments where the man's ambition often determined life or death. Today, that ambition may translate to success in a career, personal growth, or leadership, but the primal instinct remains the same. You don't need to be at the top yet. You just need to be climbing. The man who's always moving forward, even if he stumbles along the way, will always be more attractive than the man who's standing still. The difference between attraction and stagnation is progress. It doesn't matter how small that progress is. Every step forward signals to her subconscious that you're a man worth following. A man with ambition is a man who knows how to turn failure into fuel and setbacks into stepping stones. That's the man she bets on. Number 4. Their attraction runs on emotion. Women don't fall for logic. They don't care how reasonable your arguments are or how perfect you look on paper. Attraction isn't calculated in her mind, it's ignited in her emotions. This is the harsh reality most men fail to understand. You could have a stable job, be polite, and have a 5-year plan, but if you can't make her feel something, you're invisible. She won't explain this to you directly because she probably doesn't fully understand it herself. All she knows is that she's drawn to the man who stirs her emotions. This is why the nice guy loses to the bad boy. It's not because women want to be mistreated, it's because the bad boy triggers her emotions. He's unpredictable, exciting, and a challenge. Women crave emotional stimulation. The man who can take her on an emotional roller coaster without being toxic will always win her attention. You don't have to be a jerk, but you do need to understand how to create emotional spikes. If you're always predictable, you'll bore her. Women don't want monotony, they want adventure. Too many men kill attraction by being overly accommodating, always available, and trying to please her every need. But attraction doesn't work that way. Women respect men who maintain their boundaries and don't overinvest too soon. If you're constantly at her beck and call, she'll subconsciously start seeing you as less valuable. The reason is simple. When something is too easily available, it loses its value. Think about it. If she knows you're always there, always texting back within seconds, and dropping everything to be with her, she won't value your presence. Creating emotional spikes doesn't mean being a drama king or constantly stirring up conflict. It means creating a balance between excitement and stability. Plan spontaneous adventures, tease her playfully, and be a little mysterious. But don't overdo it. The goal isn't to keep her in constant chaos, but to ensure that her emotional connection to you stays alive. Women get bored when their emotional needs aren't being met, and that boredom can turn into dissatisfaction. Men who understand female psychology know how to balance tension with comfort. They know when to push her buttons and when to reassure her. They know that attraction is a game of maintaining polarity, keeping her interested without making her feel suffocated. The mistake most men make is swinging too far in one direction. They either become too predictable, killing the excitement, or they become too unpredictable, creating unnecessary stress. The sweet spot is keeping her guessing while also giving her moments of security. Women's attraction is closely tied to the highs and lows of their emotions. This doesn't mean you should manipulate her or play games. It means you need to be aware that emotions drive her attraction, not logic. You can be the perfect man on paper, but if she doesn't feel that spark, you'll be stuck in the friend zone or worse, ignored. This is why you often see women staying in relationships with men who aren't conventionally successful, but know how to keep her emotionally hooked. The secret isn't in being the bad boy or the nice guy. It's in being the man who understands the balance between excitement and security. When you can create moments of thrill without neglecting her need for stability, you become irresistible. Women aren't looking for a man who's perfect. They're looking for a man who can make them feel alive. Men who master this balance don't just attract women, they keep them. Number 5. Hypergamy drives their choices. Hypergamy is a word that triggers a lot of emotions in men once they realize how deeply it influences female behavior. Women are biologically wired to seek out the highest value man available to them. This isn't a theory, it's an evolutionary reality. For centuries, a woman's survival depended on selecting a partner who could provide safety, security, and resources. And while society has changed, her instincts haven't. Modern dating might take place in cafes, clubs, or dating apps, but her subconscious is still playing the same survival game it has for millennia. A woman's attraction isn't based on what you have today, it's based on what you're capable of achieving tomorrow. Hypergamy makes her prioritize potential. If you're building, striving, and showing growth, she'll stay invested because you represent progress. But the moment she senses stagnation, her instincts will tell her that you're no longer a reliable bet. This doesn't make her a bad person, it makes her human. Women are biologically programmed to ensure the survival of their offspring, even if that means making decisions that seem heartless to men who don't understand female psychology. Men who misunderstand hypergamy often get bitter and resentful, but they fail to see the opportunity hidden within it. Hypergamy isn't your enemy, it's your blueprint for success. A man who continuously levels up will always be in high demand. When you understand that her instincts are wired to respond to progress, you stop blaming women for their behavior and start taking responsibility for your growth. Instead of complaining that women only want high-value men, you become the high-value man she can't ignore. Men who stagnate are the ones who suffer the most from hypergamy. They think that once they've got the girl, the work is over, but that's when the real work begins. Women don't stay attracted to the man who won her over. They stay attracted to the man who continues to win her over. If you think you can coast on what you've achieved in the past, you're setting yourself up for failure. The man she met might have been ambitious, driven, and exciting, but if you've lost that edge, she'll notice, and she won't hesitate to follow her instincts elsewhere. Hypergamy is why women will often leave a good man for someone they perceive as better. It's not about loyalty, it's about survival. A man who understands this doesn't get mad. He adapts. He knows that his ambition, discipline, and growth are what keep her emotionally and physically invested. He knows that a woman's love isn't unconditional. It's tied to his ability to lead, protect, and provide. And before you think this is unfair, remember that a man's love isn't unconditional either. Just like men are wired to seek beauty and fertility in women, women are wired to seek progress and security in men. If you want to master relationships, you must master hypergamy. This means constantly improving yourself, not for her, but for you. The irony is that when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, women naturally gravitate toward you. Hypergamy rewards men who refuse to settle. It punishes men who grow complacent. The man who continuously grows becomes the man she fears losing, and that fear keeps her loyal. But if you give her nothing to lose, she will eventually find something or someone better. Number 6. Attention is their weak spot. Attention is the currency of modern dating, and women have more of it than ever before. Social media, dating apps, and constant validation have created a world where women receive compliments, likes, and messages daily. But here's the kicker. The more easily she gets attention, the less valuable it becomes. Women crave meaningful attention, not just endless streams of compliments from strangers. The man who understands this doesn't give his attention freely. He makes her earn it. And that's what sets him apart. Most men think giving a woman constant attention will make her like them more, but the opposite is true. When you're always available, always texting, always liking her photos, you blend into the background. She takes your attention for granted because there's no scarcity, and scarcity is what creates value. If everyone has access to something, it's worthless. Women crave attention, but they crave the kind of attention that feels exclusive, intentional, and earned. The man who gives meaningful attention creates an emotional bond. He doesn't shower her with compliments every minute or react to every story she posts. Instead, he pays attention to the details that matter. He notices things about her that others miss, and when he gives her praise, it's genuine and rare. This makes his attention valuable because it's not given cheaply. She knows she has to work for it, and that effort creates attraction. Women are drawn to men who are selective with their attention because it signals high value. When you don't give your time and energy to just anyone, she realizes that being the focus of your attention is a privilege, not a right. Men who understand this don't waste time chasing women who aren't interested. They set standards and only invest their attention in women who show genuine interest and effort. This creates a dynamic where she's motivated to win you over, not the other way around. Modern dating has created an environment where women can get attention on demand, but most of that attention is shallow and meaningless. The man who can stand out is the one who knows when to withhold and when to give. He doesn't ignore her or play hard to get. He simply understands that overexposure kills attraction. If you're constantly in her face, texting her good morning and good night, she'll start to see you as predictable and boring. But if you create a sense of mystery and keep her guessing, she'll stay hooked. Attention is also tied to respect. Women respect men who value their time and don't give it away easily. When you're too available, you signal that you don't have much going on in your life. But when you're selective with your attention, you show her that you have priorities, goals, and standards. This makes her see you as a man of value because your time is precious. The man who can balance giving her enough attention to keep her interested while maintaining his independence is the man she'll chase. Don't be the guy who's always waiting by the phone, hoping she'll text back. Be the man who's so focused on his mission that she wonders when she'll hear from you again. That anticipation is what keeps her engaged. She'll start to crave your attention because it's not something she can predict or control. It becomes a reward, and humans are wired to desire what they can't easily have. Attention, when given in the right doses, is addictive, but too much of it too soon is suffocating. The goal is to create a balance where she feels valued, but not overwhelmed. Keep her on her toes, and she'll be thinking about you long after your conversations end. That's how you create lasting attraction. Number 7. They fall for men who lead. Women crave leadership in a man because it signals competence, direction, and stability. A man who knows how to lead isn't just attractive. He's irresistible. Leadership doesn't mean controlling her or dominating the relationship. It means knowing how to make decisions confidently without hesitation. Women don't want to be burdened with leading the relationship. They don't want to have to constantly make decisions or be the one guiding everything. Her biology is wired to seek out a man who can take charge without second-guessing himself. Men often think that by being overly accommodating and always deferring to her choices, they're showing respect. But what they're actually showing is indecision and weakness. When a woman feels like she has to take charge all the time, she starts to lose respect for the man she's with. A woman wants to feel like she can relax in your presence, knowing that you have things under control. The moment she feels like she's carrying the relationship, she starts to resent you. That resentment kills attraction. Leadership is about creating a space where she feels secure. When you're decisive, she feels safe because she knows you're capable of handling challenges. But when you're constantly asking, "What do you want to do?" or "Where should we go?" you put the burden of leadership on her shoulders, and it weighs her down. She might tolerate it for a while, but eventually her instincts will push her toward a man who knows how to take charge. The man who leads knows how to set the tone. He plans dates without waiting for her suggestions. He makes decisions without overthinking. He takes responsibility for his life and expects her to do the same. This isn't about being a dictator. It's about being a man with a clear vision. When you lead with purpose, she doesn't have to second-guess you. She can relax, trust you, and let her feminine energy flow. Think of leadership as creating a sense of direction. Women want a man who's going somewhere. If you're drifting aimlessly, she won't feel safe attaching herself to you. But if you're a man with goals, purpose, and the ability to take decisive action, she'll be drawn to you. Women are naturally attracted to leaders because leaders provide security. In her mind, a leader is someone who can protect her from uncertainty and guide her toward a stable future. Leadership also means setting boundaries. A man who leads doesn't tolerate disrespect, disloyalty, or behavior that undermines the relationship. He doesn't need to raise his voice or demand respect. His presence commands it. When you set boundaries, you teach her how to treat you. Too many men are afraid to set boundaries because they fear losing her. But the truth is, boundaries are what make her respect you. When you're willing to walk away from anything that compromises your values, she'll chase you. The mistake many men make is confusing leadership with control. Leadership isn't about controlling her. It's about guiding the relationship with confidence and clarity. A woman doesn't want to feel suffocated or micromanaged. She wants to feel like she's with a man who knows when to take charge and when to listen. The balance between leading and being receptive is what creates a dynamic that keeps her invested. Weak men allow her to lead because they think it will make her happy. But what it really does is place her in a role she doesn't want to be in. She may not say it out loud, but if you make her the leader of the relationship, you'll notice her attraction fade over time. She might start making excuses not to see you, or she might become distant. What she's really doing is searching for a man who knows how to lead. A man who leads doesn't need constant validation. He doesn't second-guess himself because he knows his worth. When you embody this level of confidence, you become the kind of man she can't resist. Leadership isn't just about making decisions. It's about embodying strength, stability, and certainty. It's about creating an environment where she feels safe enough to let down her guard and trust you completely. Number 8. Logic won't win them over. Women aren't attracted to logic when it comes to relationships. Men often make the mistake of thinking that if they just explain themselves clearly enough or present a logical case, a woman will see things their way. But attraction doesn't work that way. Attraction isn't a debate to be won. It's an emotional experience. If you're trying to convince her to be with you using facts, you've already lost her. Women don't fall in love with lists of pros and cons. They don't care if you have a stable job, a nice car, and a 5-year plan if you can't make them feel something. Attraction lives in the heart, not the head. When a woman feels drawn to you, it's because you've triggered an emotional response, not because she calculated that you're the logical choice. Men who rely on logic to win women over end up frustrated because they're playing the wrong game. The men who win with women understand that logic has its place, but it's not the key to attraction. If you're trying to rationalize your way into her heart, you're going to get rejected or friend-zoned. Women want to feel excitement, passion, and intrigue. They want a man who can take them on an emotional journey, not one who explains why he's a good catch. Stop trying to convince her why she should be with you. Stop presenting arguments like you're in a courtroom. She's not judging your case. She's responding to your presence. If you can create moments that make her heart race, she won't care about your job title or your logical reasoning. What she'll care about is how you make her feel when she's around you. This doesn't mean that logic is useless in relationships. Logic is important for making decisions, solving problems, and building a stable future. But when it comes to sparking attraction, logic is the last thing you should rely on. Women aren't sitting there analyzing whether you meet all their criteria. They're feeling their way through the relationship. If she's not feeling it, no amount of logic will change her mind. Think about the men who seem to have everything but still get dumped. They might have a great job, good looks, and a solid plan, but if they can't create emotional tension, they lose. On the flip side, you see men who don't have much but know how to spark that emotional connection, and they keep women hooked. It's not about what you have, it's about how you make her feel. Men who master this understand that attraction is built on emotional highs and lows. They know how to create moments of unpredictability, fun, and challenge. Women don't want a man who's predictable and boring. They want a man who keeps them guessing, who creates an air of mystery, and who knows how to keep their emotions engaged. Emotional engagement isn't about playing games. It's about being the kind of man who knows how to balance excitement with security. When you can give her the thrill of adventure while also providing stability, you become the man she doesn't want to lose. Logic won't give her that thrill. Logic won't make her heart race, but creating moments of tension, playfulness, and vulnerability will. Stop relying on logic and start focusing on creating emotional experiences. Take her on spontaneous dates, surprise her with thoughtful gestures, and tease her in a way that makes her laugh. Make her feel alive. That's what keeps her coming back. Men who understand this balance know how to keep women invested long-term. They don't get complacent, and they don't rely on logic to keep the relationship alive. They know that women crave emotions, and they know how to deliver them. If you can master this, you'll never struggle with attraction again. Number 9. Control over emotion is key. Women test men emotionally, whether they realize it or not. When she's upset, frustrated, or challenging you, she's observing how you react. And if you crumble under her emotional storms, you fail the test. But if you remain calm, collected, and unfazed, she'll be drawn closer to you. This is not a conscious process for her. It's deeply embedded in her biology. Women have evolved to seek men who can stay composed during chaos, because composure signals strength. A man who's in control of his emotions is a man who can lead, protect, and remain stable no matter what comes his way. Too many men think that the key to winning a woman's heart is to mirror her emotions, but that's where they lose. When she's emotional, she doesn't want you to fall apart with her. She doesn't want you to match her panic or anger. What she wants, even if she can't verbalize it, is for you to be her rock. She wants to know that no matter how intense her emotions get, you won't lose your cool. That's where true attraction lives, in your ability to be the man who doesn't waver under pressure. Think of the moments when a woman tests your patience, when she picks a fight over something trivial, or when she pushes your buttons to see if you'll react emotionally. Weak men get defensive, lash out, or try to prove a point. But strong men stay calm and let her emotional storm pass. This doesn't mean you let her walk all over you. It means you address the situation with firmness and clarity, not emotional outbursts. When you maintain control over your emotions, you show her that you're a man she can trust to handle not just her emotions, but life's challenges as well. Control over emotion isn't about being cold or distant. It's about mastering yourself. Men who are emotionally weak tend to react impulsively, and those reactions often lead to regret. They say things they shouldn't, make decisions out of anger, or let jealousy consume them. And once a woman sees that you're prone to emotional instability, her respect for you diminishes. But a man who can stay grounded, even when she's testing his patience, earns her trust and admiration. One of the biggest tests a woman will give you is how you handle rejection, conflict, or setbacks. When something doesn't go your way, do you pout, throw a tantrum, or blame others? Or do you take it in stride and find a solution? Women notice these things because they reveal your core character. If you lose your composure at the slightest inconvenience, she'll see you as unreliable. But if you stay level-headed, you'll stand out from the countless men who can't control their emotions. Jealousy is another emotion that can destroy attraction if you let it control you. Women are naturally social creatures, and they'll interact with other men throughout their lives. If you get possessive, insecure, or start interrogating her about every interaction, you'll come across as weak. Women don't want a man who's constantly worried about competition. They want a man who knows that his value speaks for itself. When you're secure in who you are, you don't need to control her or track her every move. She'll respect you more when you give her space and trust her to make decisions, knowing that if she betrays that trust, you're the type of man who won't stick around. Men who control their emotions are rare, and that rarity makes them attractive. It's easy to react impulsively. It's much harder to stay composed and think logically in the heat of the moment. But the men who master this skill are the ones who women crave. They're the men who make women feel safe, not because they're physically strong, but because they're emotionally unshakable. Control over emotion is also tied to discipline. A man who can control his temper can control his life. A man who doesn't get rattled by minor setbacks can achieve greatness. And women instinctively know this. When they see a man who can handle adversity without falling apart, they're drawn to him because he represents stability in an unstable world. If you want to master attraction, master yourself first. Stop reacting emotionally to every situation. Learn to pause, think, and respond with intention. Women don't fall for men who are perfect. They fall for men who can stay composed when life gets messy. The man who can handle her emotions without losing control of his own will always have the upper hand. Number 10. They crave mystery. Predictability kills attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who keep them guessing, men who maintain an air of mystery and intrigue. When you become too familiar, too predictable, or too available, she starts to lose interest. Mystery isn't about playing games or being deceptive. It's about having a life so interesting that she's constantly curious about you. It's about being the man who doesn't reveal everything at once, the man who leaves her wanting more after every interaction. Men who overshare, overcommunicate, and give away all their secrets too early end up killing the spark. Women don't want to know every detail of your life within the first few weeks of dating. They want to discover you piece by piece, slowly unraveling the layers of who you are. When you reveal everything too soon, you eliminate the thrill of discovery, and with it, the excitement of being around you. Mystery isn't about being distant or aloof. It's about maintaining a sense of unpredictability. It's about being the man who surprises her, who challenges her, and who doesn't conform to her expectations. When you keep her guessing, she stays engaged. She wonders what you'll say next, what you'll do next, and where the relationship is headed. That sense of anticipation keeps her emotionally invested. One of the easiest ways to create mystery is by having a life outside of her. Too many men make the mistake of dropping everything as soon as they start dating a woman. They cancel plans, stop seeing friends, and make her the center of their universe. But when you do this, you lose the very thing that attracted her to you in the first place, your individuality. Women are attracted to men who have purpose, passions, and ambitions. When you have a life filled with meaningful activities, she'll constantly wonder what you're doing and how she can fit into your world. Another key to maintaining mystery is controlling how much you communicate. Don't be the guy who's constantly texting or calling her throughout the day. Give her space to miss you. When you're too available, you become predictable, and predictability breeds boredom. Instead, focus on quality over quantity. Make your interactions memorable so that when you're not around, she's thinking about you. Mystery also comes from being a man of depth. Have interests, hobbies, and goals that go beyond impressing her. When you're genuinely passionate about your life, it shows. Women are attracted to men who are driven by something bigger than themselves. They want to be part of your journey, but they don't want to feel like they're the only thing you're living for. When you have a mission, you naturally create an air of mystery because she knows there's more to you than meets the eye. The men who lose women are the ones who become predictable routines. They text at the same time every day, plan dates that lack creativity, and share everything without restraint. But the men who keep women hooked are the ones who remain a little unpredictable, a little mysterious, and a lot intriguing. These are the men who know how to balance intimacy with distance, familiarity with surprise. Mystery doesn't mean playing hard to get or being emotionally unavailable. It means having layers that she can't peel back all at once. It means keeping some parts of your life private, not because you're hiding something, but because you understand the power of intrigue. When you maintain that sense of mystery, she'll always be curious about you, always wanting to know more. And as long as she's curious, she's invested. The man who can master mystery will never have to chase women. They'll chase him, trying to uncover the depths of who he is. And that's the secret to lasting attraction, keeping her intrigued, engaged, and emotionally connected. If you master these principles, you'll never be blindsided by sudden breakups, ghosting, or disrespect again. The truth is harsh, but it's liberating. Women don't leave men they admire. They leave men who stop being the man they fell for. Comment, "I hold the key" below, and let me know what resonated with you the most. Subscribe and help this message reach the men who desperately need to hear this. When you subscribe, YouTube pushes this content to others, and together we can change how men see relationships.